Hey y'all! Today we're going to be talking about big data, how it's gathered and visualized, and who uses it. So at this point, you're probably asking yourself, what exactly is big data? Well, we're about to get crafty. Imagine this bag of noodles is an enormous set of data. When I pour it out on the table, it automatically looks overwhelming. There's all sorts of colors and a mixed variety of objects, and it pours way too fast to sort easily. This is exactly what big data is: large, fast, and complex amounts of data. Since the beginning of mankind, humans have always collected data. But now, thanks to the rise of cell phones and social media, data streams in at all times. This data, labeled as big data by Roger Mogules in 2005, is stored and processed in two different ways. The first way is through magnetic storage, through devices such as hard drives, floppy disks, or magnetic tape. While this method can store and process the data, as demonstrated by the noodles, the amount and speed of magnetic storage can't hold up to the amount of the data pouring in. This brings us to method number 2, the cloud, which is basically a global network of servers available anytime and anywhere. As you can see, the cloud is much better at being able to process and store all data, which makes this the method that most data analysis companies use to data mine for information. Data analysts focus on what they call the 5 V's of gathering information: volume, velocity, variety, variability, and value. So how do data companies gather information? It's really quite easy for them. On average, 40 exabytes or 40 billion gigabytes are generated by a single smartphone user every month. Multiply that by 5 billion smartphone users, and that gives you a ton of information, which is why it's called big data. Let's take a look at the data generated per minute on the internet. 2.1 million Snapchats, 3.8 million Google searches, 1 million Facebook logins, 4.5 million views on YouTube, and 188 million emails every single minute. While we let that sink in, let's do a quick exercise. Look at my roommate on the screen. How many different ways is he able to generate data? He's got his phone for texts, calls, and social media. There's headphones that capture the music he listens to. Then there's his smartwatch that keeps track of every step he takes. Oh, and don't forget his computer. He keeps track of every search he makes, as well as what he streams on Netflix and Hulu. So basically, every time you pick up technology, you are creating and sending data to those companies. The average hospital creates 665 terabytes or 665,000 gigabytes each year. And while they do use this to generate more income, they also use the data to map disease outbreaks and test alternative treatments. NASA uses big data to explore the universe. They hold information on everything from the latest climate data to the hidden secrets of Saturn. Big data in the music industry influences not only what songs are marketed and sold, but which songs become hits. How do you think your Spotify daily mixes are made? That's right, the data did it. Nike is literally watching you. No, really. Their smartwatches track every step you take and provide valuable feedback on the state of your health and fitness. Cybersecurity depends on the availability of information to be able to detect and characterize threats. In fact, it is through big data that attacks are stopped, because criminals use Google too. And finally, utility companies analyze customer data to improve the efficiency of operations. If they know how much electricity their clients are using, they can better avoid blackouts.
The location of our data can be captured in only 2 different ways. One being through latitude and longitude coordinates, and the other through IP addresses. Latitude and longitude coordinates can be more easily displayed as compared to IP addresses. Data collected from latitude and longitude points can be made available by media developers. IP addresses, on the other hand, take a different approach to collecting data. They can record the total amount of times a social media platform is used. The IP addresses have their own geographic area associated to it, therefore allowing for more data to be collected and associated with geographic coordinates. Instead of there being a specific latitude and longitude point, an IP address is an estimated area from which the data is collected. Overall, there are two main ways to capture data location when it comes to using social media platforms. Machine-to-machine data collection using things such as social media and business transactions are a way for companies to collect data. Due to the higher volume of users in the social media sector, this is the focus for many big data mining operations. Within the data that is taken from the sources, certain variables are looked at and using in different types of ways, either through target ads or tracking of business purchases. Some of the best data variables are those of the demographics of either the users or audience that the data is being collected from. Things like location, age, gender, or similar interests play a large role in the prediction and delivery of a more correctly fitting product or idea. With a growing need to understand people's preferences, data mining will continue to focus on these key variables so that product ads will further mold themselves to the individual user. With a better understanding of who and what people follow, data mining for business and companies can further streamline their products through the highlighted key variables for each user, maximizing profits and pushing for better, more automated data mining. Data mining is part of our past and will certainly be part of our future. Planning, mapping, abatement plans, and using the population trends to make key decisions for the nation and our communities all comes at a cost. The cost is security for the consumer. A great deal of the population blindly trusts these companies with their personal habits, trends, and even individual location. Observing more closely, most people contribute to big data without knowing, or even caring how much information they are divulging. Purchases made both online and in-store contribute to the data mining process, as well as buying a home and just about any other purchases that are made in one's community. Almost all statistics are kept in order to help predict our buying patterns and to expedite the shopping experience. This is not the full scope by any means. Tracking social media is challenging. Figuring out the market segments and the business return on investment in social media is important. To be truly effective, one must keep in touch and monitor all social media platforms that are topic related. Not keeping up with consumers is a missed opportunity. A savvy business owner relies heavily on their marketing efforts, and that social media touches everyone's lives. So that's it for Big Data. I hope you enjoyed this video.